Ready.
Good morning, everybody, Your Royal Highness, Excellencies, participants, and most importantly, youth and children leaders out there. I want to apologize for not being there in person for this very important meeting. I know that National Observatory has put a lot of efforts in forwarding child rights agenda, youth development, not only in Morocco or North Africa, but worldwide. I must congratulate and commend the leadership the government of Morocco is playing in this critical junction, and also commend the Royal King for asking and making sure that the human rights agenda converges with the sustainable development agenda. I'm here to speak about the importance of children and youth participation in the post-2015 development agenda. For the first time, we know what children and young people are saying. In a recent survey conducted by the UN system, by UN Millennium Campaign, over 7 million people have spoken, telling the global leaders what their priorities are. More importantly, for the first time, we know out of 7 million, 5 million children and young people have spoken and participated in the survey. They did not just participate bringing their votes or the votes of their peers. They also got into intergenerational partnerships. My favorite moment is when a girl, 14 years old, is asking her great-grandmother, an 85-year-old lady in Patna in a slum, and asking her what her priorities are. Children's agencies and their participation is a fundamental human right. Children's participation also is crucial for creating protective environment that we are speaking about here today. Let me also share with you what are the priorities that children and young people are telling us. They tell us very clearly education, education, and education is critical. Education that links to skills development and promotes their agency in society. Their health, just not their health in terms of immunization, but adolescent health. Health of both young women and men. Mental health has been highlighted as an important priority. Young people talk about accountability, honest and responsive governments, governments that deliver on their promises. So it's critical that we really come together and do not fail this generation. They talk about issues of environmental protection, water and sanitation, climate change as an important priority for them. Protecting river and forest is being highlighted as a key priority. But something which is absolutely critical to this meeting is children and young people, whether they're boys or girls, or young women or young men, are demanding peaceful, protective environment, protection from violence and crime, be it a war situation or a gang violence, and its prevention is absolutely pivotal as we move on to the sustainable development agenda. Across the world, girls and young women are making a very strong appeal saying that no longer there should be gender inequality, demanding that gender equality should be a key priority for the post-2015 development agenda. I can go on with the entire list, but the important discussion really is who's listening, who will deliver on these priorities. We know for a fact that young people have just not exemplified by participating, but also have very clearly said our agency is important. We offer our partnerships in the implementation of sustainable development agenda. I call upon the government of Morocco and its leadership to continue strengthening child rights agenda and also develop a discourse on human rights of youth. It is absolutely critical that the government of Morocco, under the leadership of Royal Highness, is able to strengthen adolescent girls and young women's agenda. There is nobody talking about the investment that we need to do for young women and their leadership in sustainable development agenda. I make a plea for government of Morocco to call for a first ever young women's leadership meeting in Morocco so that we can really ensure that there are many more young women who can be coached and mentored from Your Highness and many others in Morocco and across the region. It is important that we set up a trust fund so that young women's leadership can be harnessed, promoted in the implementation of sustainable development agenda. Again, I would like to apologize that I'm not there in person, but also recognize the role that National Child Rights Observatory has played. Dr. Daniel, Najib, Liana have been so critical in making sure that Moroccan experience is goes to the international level, but also the international experience comes to Morocco. We assure a full support as a global advisor on youth with UN Habitat to this process. Thank you so much, Your Excellency and participants.